Philippines is one of the world's 17 mega biodiverse countries in the world. It is home to the most diverse species of life, whether plants and animals that are found nowhere else in the world. Biodiversity contributes to three major needs of humans, namely food, health, and energy. Biodiversity has been declining at an alarming rate because of species loss. Causes an imbalance in the ecosystem which leads to more erratic changes that harm the entire ecosystem. This statement is for us to understand the significance of our diverse environment and how human activities can contribute to its growth or destruction. Biodiversity is the engine that breathes life into all nature systems on which human lives depends from taming nature's destructive powers. Biodiversity, everything is connected. No matter what kind of environment we live in, everyone plays a big role. The value of biodiversity is that it makes our ecosystem more resilient, which is necessary for stable societies. It is not too late to conserve resources and save our habitat. We should preserve every scrap of biodiversity as priceless, while we learn to use it and comprehend what it means to humanity. Each of us, it is our responsibility to protect biodiversity and we must do our part for future generations. It is not too late. There is still time to restore our Pearl of the Orient.
Threats to biodiversity. There are major threats to biodiversity that were identified by the United Nations Environment Programme. These are the following: habitat destruction, overconsumption, pollution, invasive species, climate change. Because of those threats, there are so many challenges and changes in biodiversity. Alteration in any system could bring varied effects. A change in biodiversity could have an erratic effects not only in wildlife or marine life, but also in human beings. Inhabitation of human beings and the use of land for economic gains can cause habitat loss and destruction. Alteration and sudden changes could begin to change entire ecosystem. Alteration in ecosystem are critical factor for contributing to species and habitat loss. Overhunting, overfishing, or overcollecting of species can quickly lead to its decline. Biological systems respond slowly to changes in their surrounding environment. Pollution and contamination cause irreversible damage to species and varieties. Both climate variability and climate change can cause biodiversity loss. Species and populations may be lost permanently if they are not provided with enough time to adapt to changing climate conditions. The loss of biodiversity has many consequences that we understand, and many that we do not. It is apparent that humankind is willing to sustain a great deal of biodiversity loss if there are concomitant benefits to society. We hope they are net benefits. In many cases, the benefit seems to accrue to a few individuals only, with net societal loss. However, it is extremely difficult to estimate the future causes of losses in biodiversity or of environmental damage. Therefore, we as human inhabitants of ecosystem must preserve and conserve the biodiversity of all creatures.
Biodiversity is a vital element of human beings' nutrition because of its influence to food production. Biodiversity is a major factor that contributes to sustainable food production for human beings. A society or a population must have access to a sufficient variety of nutritious food as it is a determinant of their health as human beings. The health, the economies, and even the way of life of people depend heavily on biodiversity. So in order for us people to grow, develop, stay healthy, and enjoy our life to the fullest, proper nutrition or good nutrition is extremely important. Biodiversity is the key indicator of the health of an ecosystem. It is essential for the process to support all life on Earth, including humans. Important development industries such as pharmacy, biochemistry, agriculture, and tourism all depend on biodiversity to influence health outcomes either directly or indirectly. Although the environment sustains human life, it can also cause diseases. Lack of basic necessities is a significant cause of human mortality. Environmental hazards increase the risk of cancer, heart disease, asthma, and many other illnesses. These hazards can be physical, such as pollution, toxic chemicals and food contaminants, or they can be social, such as dangerous work, poor housing conditions, urban sprawl, and poverty. We, people, depend on biodiversity in our daily lives in a way that are not always apparent or appreciated. Our health ultimately depends upon ecosystem products and services such as availability of fresh water, food, and fuel sources which are needed for good health and productive livelihoods. The world is a beautiful place, and biodiversity is one of the reasons why.